Yeah.
So
yeah, that would have been a big show.
Yeah.
Sounds cool. First up.
yeah. So that sort of thing is cool, you know, being able to, like, if the underground can do that again, that would be sick, like, to introduce those sort of bands. But
get that energy going.
yeah. So, cause there's probably lots of kids out there that play just, you know.
Yeah. Need to get their butts in the gear.
That's right.
We've talked about, so you've what sort of, like, you talked about Embodiment as being one of them, as your favourite sort of underground bands that have come out, favourite Christian bands.
Yeah.
Was there any others you wanted to list? You played Seraph Skull.
Yeah, Seraph Skull.
One of the main ones that have influenced you guys, probably.
Early STI.
Yeah, that's it.
Early STI, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the direction you guys have headed in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mortification.
Yeah.
That was
They're
a
a
cool
good
gig.
underground band.
I saw him play upstairs. The last time they played here, I think it was.
Stomper show.
Upstairs, and the roof was going like this. Everyone was freaking. But it was a good show, and good to see them play. And Steve Rowe comes in and goes, "Hello, Adelaide," and everyone's just like, "Who's this guy?" Like, he's just this old sort of bogan sort of guy, and comes out and says that, and everyone's like, "Yeah." And then he gets the crowd going though, and he goes, "I want you to repeat after me." He goes, "Ayo," and the whole crowd goes, "Ayo," like this together. And he starts just saying all this gear. It was pretty funny. Can you remember?
I wasn't there, man.
We were there. And it was pretty old school, pretty sort of old metal and stuff. But it was just funny. Like, I loved it.
Yeah. Guess there's been a few interstate bands that have played here as well over the years. I remember that the Frugals was a good show here.
Yeah.
Sounds Like Chicken I saw here. They're okay. They're pretty unusual guys. High energy though. So yeah, I've nothing more to say.
Yeah. Cool. Is there any particular art, like you sort of talked about it, but like, was there any like standout artist in a band that like you just enjoyed because they were like going nuts? Like, I know for me, I love watching Dan Jones. And
Dan Jones.
Dan Jones is inspirational, isn't he?
Go Joel.
Yeah.
Dimebag Darrell.
He's dead.
Dan Jones.
Like, I don't know if you could like describe it, like why.
I know, he just makes a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
To see someone, to see anyone play drums and sing is good for starters, but to see someone play at like a wicked level and just do some real technical sort of gear and sing with a great voice, doing harmony and all that sort of gear, and being the front man for a band as a drummer would be
Front
pretty
and back
cool
of the stage.
Front at the back of the stage.
Yeah, and
it's cool.
Like,
Yeah. Heaps, and he just keeps it together.
Yeah.
And the rest of the guys do their thing.
I saw him in Queensland, played the AGMF, and like at the end of the last song, he smashed the kit. It's pretty crazy. It wasn't his.
He smashed up.
Yeah.
So he felt good about it.
Yeah, it's cool. And yeah, they're cool. I like Seraph Skull. They're probably my favourite Christian band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to go through like your favourite one?
Favourite band.
Like, we'll just grab each of you, like saying your favourite band.
I'd have to say Embodiment, like especially the older lineup. Like, I used to watch pretty much everyone in the band, like seeing Asman play drums. Like, I play drums as well as sing, and just to see him, doing sort of all of his gear with his metal and his double kicks and stuff. But also seeing Darren, just his movement and his passion, how sort of into it he is, and how he interacts with the crowd and doesn't do anything sort of half-hearted. He's fully into it, and that. So yeah, Embodiment.
Well, Killswitch Engage, that kind of like
From the underground.
So.
Did you ever see him play here?
Is that what you're talking about? The underground?
No.
Oh.
I mean Christian underground.
Oh, yeah.
Christian movement scene.
DC talk.
There's no like famous. I don't know any famous Christian guitarists like that play solos. So, but that's what I like.
What about Oz Fox?
Oh yeah, he's cool. Yeah, Oz Fox from Striker. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess all my guitar heroes are Steve Vai and Dimebag Darrell, Pantera. So yeah. But I know Pat from Southside's very good, but he doesn't play metal.
Alright. And your
Well,
favourite
he
band?
can. Favourite band.
Favourite band,
Will
Christian
Killswitch too.
Favourite underground band?
What's that band that you were playing in the car before?
As I lay dying.
Yeah, that was the first time I heard them, but I like them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could name 1,000 that I like, but Christian bands, not local bands.
Yeah, so
would be-
favourite sort of local Adelaide one and then favourite sort of international one.
Okay. Old STR, sort of, because my brother's in that, I used to love it. Really old STR.
Yeah.
And Embodiment, of course. And favourite Christian bands would be Strong Arm, Living Sacrifice, I love their lyrics. And Zayo, I've always gone into Zayo. Like, every one of their CDs is great. And yeah, pretty much every Christian hardcore band other than Norma Jean I like.
She make coffee.
Do you like Norma Jean?
Some of the stuff's alright.
Yeah.
That's about it. No, I don't want them.
Forearm.
Sarah's Cole for an Adelaide band, and probably As I Lay Dying from America. They're good. That's it for me.
Okay. Well, as I said, my first record was Striper, and they've always been one of my favourite bands. Just like the melodic stuff they do and the harmonising guitars can't be beaten. Like some of us here, As I Lay Dying, definitely one of my favourite underground sort of bands from the States. Also Living Sacrifice, I love Living Sacrifice. I don't know, if I went through my CD collection, it'd probably be about 1,000 bands as well.
The Cranberries.
Yeah, the Cranberries are pretty cool. They were probably underground at one time.
Nice.
But I haven't listened to that for a while now. Not since I got married.
Video hits. Best
Video
of
hits. Yeah.
his CD collection.
Yeah, also Strong Arm. I listened to that album a lot when I first bought it. That was my first taste of hardcore. So I listened to that tons. Obviously Embodied 1214 being my favourite Adelaide band. Also Stretch Armstrong, like their first couple of albums, just the first two. Probably not the latest one, that's not really my favourite, but the other two are awesome. Yeah, I think that pretty much does it for me too. Yeah.
Sick. Alrighty, we'll get there. So we've sort of done, yeah, we haven't, what's your like favourite show, like, just, you know, talk me through your favourite show, like from rocking up to how it happened.
Should we all do this one?
Oh, just do it together, like, is it unanimous, your favourite show?
What's your
Probably
favourite show?
Different.
I don't know, Joel.
Cleve, I reckon.
Yeah, they've all played good shows.
Yeah. Joel wasn't there though, but
Yeah.
Cleve was a good show. It was a country show. We rocked up, had no idea what was
Stinking
going
hot
on.
and windy.
They
It was
set,
freezing
and then
by night.
it was freezing by night, pouring with rain. We're on the back of a truck, and we're like running around, and there's just all these kids out, massive crowd, all in the rain, just going nuts. And you'd think that because it was raining, they'd all leave, but
And
they didn't.
little country town and like
Yeah.
They just came.
But they
from
came
every
from
town
everywhere,
around
like
there.
from Port Lincoln and all these places. There's hundreds of kids all up against this truck, and we're just going nuts.
And Levi and I
We're a bit
liked it.
worried because it was like raining and stormy and stuff, and we were on this big metal plate, just wondering when the lightning was going to hit it, and you know, just do a full, what's that movie called, where their drummers blow up and stuff. Spinal Tap. Yeah, I was thinking something like that might happen.
Levi and I like to move around a bit, and he had a wireless bass, and I had a wireless mic, I think. And because it was so wet and it was all just slippery metal, we're just running back and forth,
Big
sliding.
slides,
Big
And,
rock dudes.
power slides.
But it was fun, like, you know. And when you got a crowd that stays in the rain to watch you, then you think that they must want to listen to you and sort of get into you. So
Yeah.
we had fun playing that show.
Yeah.
It was good.
And all the girls love Levi. They want to talk to him afterwards, but he was good at rejecting them with the cold face and silence.
So Levi's the one that gets the chicks.
Yeah. No, he doesn't. He's very good. He's so well behaved. As for Nathan,
I've got a girlfriend. We've all got girlfriends. Aaron's married. Joel's the only single dude that gets chicks now.
still.
Balls of steel.
picturing this show. It's like an outdoor show.
Yeah.
Like a bit of rain, a bit of dusty. Is it nighttime or daytime?
Yeah, nighttime.
Night
Oh,
time.
right.
It wasn't really dust at night
Yeah.
because a big change came in.
It was on oval.
But we'd sort of driven there, set up, gone somewhere to stay,
Yeah.
had food in some place. You know, it was like
Yeah.
it was real fun. And we stayed the night because it was finished late and we didn't want to drive
Yeah,
back
we
late.
rolled
And
in
then
Ute.
there's another story. I stayed back at the house to watch Mr. T and Rocky.
And this guy took us on a slow drive just to show us his farm.
Yeah.
And then he
Four-wheel
just
drive.
he
And
tells
he
some
couldn't
dudes get
hold
off the
his
back. He puts his foot flat to the floor and then accidentally gets his ute sideways and rolls it. And none of us are wearing belts. I cracked my head on the roof and landed on Jade. Well,
No,
Jade
you were
landed.
on Funk's brother.
Oh yeah, I landed on someone else, and then Jade landed on me. Oh, it's crazy.
Rolled it.
How many people were in the ute?
5.
Yeah, it was like we were in the closed cab. It was a pretty painful experience, but apart from that, it's
I was
our
okay.
favourite show.
Because I was on the top side when we rolled.
I was the only civilised one who stayed back to watch Mr. T.
Yeah, that's right. But we also, like, even though there's smaller shows like 150 kids, we like playing. Like in Gawler, we do like northern suburbs sort of shows, like for the kids out there, and we have heaps of our mates rock up, and they're always,
Yeah.
They're fun.
They're
The
always
last
heaps of
one of them
fun.
was the best.
yeah. We love doing those because kids like know the songs and
Yeah.
yeah,
They get way into it.
yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's that sort of like when they start? Do they start singing the words and stuff?
Yeah, or start mouthing something or trying to dance.
We're trying to grab us while we're on stage. Levi. That's another story.
That was a clean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Favourite venues around Adelaide? Apart from-
The underground. It's great.
The Don Polsky Centre was good.
Yeah, that was for Harold, I guess.
That was a good show. That was
Yeah.
one of my first shows.
It's a good spot.
Good room.
Paradise. Pretty big.
Yeah.
We
Pretty
like
different.
playing at
You guys
South.
done Paradise?
Yeah.
We like playing at Southside. That's a cool venue
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Because we've got lots of mates out that way as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a good support base. Paradise and Southside.
yeah,
Sick.
and Northside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it's good fun to play anywhere where people get into it,
Yeah.
regardless of what room you're playing in. If people are into it, it's good fun. So yeah. Except we don't like playing in gymnasiums a lot because on school tours you play in those and you get to hear yourself straight back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the sound just bounces.
You PE teachers.
They're too big.
I know that's all right. That was outside.
That's all right. Outdoor show.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. What bands have you played? Have you played with any like touring bands or international bands?
Not really. Stretch Armstrong. No, not really.
Nah.
Well,
No.
people
They
from
haven't
like
even-
Melbourne.
You probably get to that level, but I just think
What about that Asian band that played here that time?
Yeah, they were a touring band, weren't they?
Yeah.
Sonic,
Yeah.
Sonic,
Who was that?
Sonic Youth.
Sonic Edge.
Sonic
And they
Edge.
used to live.
Sonic
At the
Youth.
Youth Alive, there was it Fido?
Fido.
Nah.
They were
weren't
from-
too- they
Well,
were-
you played with
Yeah, they were from
you played
Melbourne.
with Frugals and
Or
House
something.
Skeptic.
yeah,
on Harold.
interstate
Yeah.
bands,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but not too.
And we play the Frugals here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Seraphs.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
And Embodiment.
go. No,
Couple
I just
no-
want to
Yeah.
talk about Harold for a bit.
Yeah.
So the whole thing, I guess Harold's probably the biggest thing to hit, wasn't it? When that sort of stuff.
And then leave.
Yeah, so it's come and gone. Like, what did you see Harold doing for like the band scene?
Exposure.
Yeah, gave everyone a shot because there was like more well-known bands and heaps that weren't. So
Yeah.
you sort of got to know if they're good.
The first Harold we ever played at, we'd never played anything like that big before.
Yeah.
And we played just before Edison. There was like Edison and then Embodiment and then Sarah's Carl.
Seraphs.